KG. I want to ask KG because I don't get to talk to KG very much. KG, I was watching the match where Zaha didn't kneel. You know what I mean? I wanted to get one person's take on that, so I'm picking you. I'm picking you to give me your take on that. Honestly, from the heart. No politics. Give me something real.
I understand his point of view, but because he's saying that the message is lost, but at the same time, man, some of these guys, and I don't know him. I don't know enough about him, or I haven't read enough about him as like how he is as a person and the things that he does. But in situations like this, I always feel like when there's one person that wants to go against the grain, it comes off as almost attention seeking, right? You can say your piece, but the message when it was first construed was one of unity of the players, right? And you want to break line with the rest of your teammates and say, you have other black teammates. You have other black teammates as well. Why are they not standing, right? So I would be curious. I understand his point of view. I may not agree with it, but I understand what he's saying. But I would be curious to find out how his teammates feel about him taking that stand, because they know him better as a person. So they would be able to speak more so as to what his true motivation, or from their perspective, what his true motivation is and has been. Because honestly, I don't, at least from what I've never really heard anything about him being like a justice warrior. You know what I mean? Like an activist guy. We hear about like the Reece Jameses, we hear about the Marcus Rashfords, we hear about the Raheem Sterlings. We hear about these guys who put their neck out there. I don't know if Wilf Zaha really strikes me as one of those guys, man.
I gotta counter that. I think it's one of those things where Zaha has been getting a lot of racist messages in his DMs via Instagram, Twitter, whatever it may be. And so I think what he's saying, because I've read some quotes before this, what he's saying is that for him to take a knee and then after the game, there's a guy calling the N-word on his DM, doesn't feel like that knee is having enough impact. So I think he's saying taking the knee is cool, but sometimes it's just something that they do before the game. There's really no the meaning behind taking the knee has been lost, kind of, because it's just something they do before the game. So he's saying, what is the EPO and what is the powers that be? What are they doing about the racist abuse that these guys are getting via social media, and just racial abuses in general? So I think what he's saying is the powers that be have taken kind of a relaxed seat to racism because of this taking a knee thing being something that they see as enough for the time being. So he's trying to accelerate, hey, what's next? And I think what he has to do a better, remember, he's a young man that, he's a young black guy. So we have to understand that one thing I would like an answer to is he talking to those in charge of these initiatives within the EPL and the UK and whatever it may, England, London, whatever it may be? Is he working with them to find out what other avenues they can take to have more of a to have meetings with the guys that run Instagram, to have meetings with the guys that run Twitter, if his direct focus is social media? You get what I'm saying? But if it's just social injustice, period, then is he taking that step? Because he is taking a step and not taking the knee. So is he taking that step to see what is happening? Because there are things that are happening. It's just not on a macro level where everybody knows it, right? So I think there needs to be a bridge built to see what's next. Yeah, the knee's great, but what's next? And I think that's his messaging. He's saying, I'm taking a knee, but a 12-year-old kid is calling me the N-word, and he gets blocked. But he creates another Instagram and calls me the N-word again. So it's like a cycle of the same racist process without any real change. And I think that's where he's, again, I'm speaking from what his direct quotes are. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I can understand that.
So one thing that kind of stood out for me was he quoted as saying there's no right or wrong decision, which is the right thing but he said for him, kneeling is just like it's a part of the pre-match routine now. So everything we do at the moment, it doesn't really matter where you kneel or stand because at the end of the day, you're still being abused. You know what I mean? We appreciate how far the steps that they took in order for them to show that they're bringing awareness. But right now, it's time for them kind of, do something about it. So I am glad that it's not the other way, which is weird, but I'm glad that it wasn't. Eventually somebody's going to be like, yo, okay, cool. We're doing the kneeling. Yes, we're acknowledging, but we're still being abused. So, you know what I mean? We need more than just the kneeling part of it. If we can look into the Twitter accounts and make sure that people that get blocked from certain avenues, stuff like that will kind of make it a little bit more impactful than just showing on a video, say, let's take a knee. You know what I mean? So, LeBron, what you asked the question, you posed the question. What are your thoughts on it?
No, I just, to be honest with you, I just thought that at first I thought it was a little bit attention seeking, and I delve a little bit deeper into it. But honestly, it just seems like more of the same.